I used to nanny for a family that liked to party, if you know what I mean. I found this family through people I used to babysit for on the weekend. They say I have some friends looking for a temporary nanny, 3 months. Very wealthy, will pay you a lot of money. I said, okay, let's do it. I said, where do they live? You know, tell me a little bit more. She was like, well, they're all the way up high in the Hollywood Hills. They do like to party. So sometimes, you know, the weekends get a little crazy, but they're looking for a daytime nanny, so that shouldn't affect you at all. I said, okay, give her my contact. The mom calls me a couple of days later of the new family, and she's like, hi, you know, my friend told me about you. I trust her 100%, so it's like, if you just want to come and do a trial and, you know, I get to meet you at the house, that'd be great. This is great. She's like, let me tell you a little bit about my family. My husband works from home. I work from home. So neither one of us will be seen during the day, really. We do have two other nannies. We have an evening nanny. We have a weekend nanny. We also have a driver. We have a chef. We have a housekeeper. We have a house manager, we have an estate manager, and we also have a laundress. I had to Google what a laundress was. That's a person that just handled the laundry. So all day long, there was no laundry in their house because it was somebody always washing the laundry, which I thought was cool. But anyway, um, she was like, we live all the way up in the hills, pretty high. So if you want, we can send you a car for the trial, because people get lost and you also lose reception. So we want to make sure that you get here safely. But what I heard was me and my friend were trying to traffic you. So I said, I'm going to drive my own car, if that's okay. And she was like, yes, perfectly fine. I was just trying to make sure, you know, you get here, no worries. So I'm like, I'm blown. My mind's blown. We set up the trial for a couple of days later. I drive my car, did indeed lose reception, did indeed lose reception. But house is immaculate. It's an estate, let me say. It has to be over 10,000 square feet. Huge, huge ass house. And so I walk in, the mom's there, the little boy's there. She's like, you know, welcome. Can I get you anything right away? I'm like, no, I'm okay. She was like, okay. So the evening nanny walks out and she's like, this is my name. And the house manager walks out. She's like, this is my name. And she's like, the house manager's like, basically, I am your point person. Anything you need, you would come to me. If it's for like a payment, if the child needs any clothes, or definitely come to me for like the weekly schedule for the food. Because I have to go grocery shopping for that, and I have to give that to the chef to make sure it's prepared for the boy when he's ready to eat. I said, okay, y'all going straight for the gusto. Y'all ain't wasting no time. Okay. So I'm just like, okay, this all sounds very good. And so the mom's like, you know, I just need to add, I forgot to tell you on the phone, you have to be a team player. You and the other two nannies, sometimes we will ask that you change shifts because people just have different things to do. And so we want you to be flexible. I said, okay, that's chill. So they show me around. She's like, you know, the evening nanny's going to take it away and she will, you know, let me know what she thought about you, since she would be working more with them than you would be working with me. And I said, that's fair. So she's taking me around, showing me like what the little boy likes, what he don't like, where his snacks at. You know, they had the little iPad thing where you can like put in the menu for the little boy, for the chef to cook the food in the kitchen. It was a crazy house, y'all. Um, and so the trial day in, it goes perfect. The house manager sends me the contract. I'm like, I accept, okay? They give me the job. The first month goes good. Now we're here at the second month. That's when I found out that they get down with the white girl. And so we're at the house, and the weekend nanny comes up to me and she's like, hey, is it possible that you can take my Saturday shift and I can probably take your Friday shift, because I have just something to do this weekend? And I said, okay, yeah, like, is anything different from how I do things during the week? She was like, the only big difference is that you will work into the night. So I normally work like 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. in the morning till like 4:35, something like that. She was like, so instead of working those early hours, you would start around 1 p.m. and you would get off around 10 or 11 p.m. And I said, that's a long day, deep into the night. And so she's like, yeah, and you know, the vibes is different. Like, they do like hosting and having parties, but your job is to keep your eyes on the boy. You're not to be, you know, scanning the room trying to figure out what they're doing. If the little kid runs to his parents, you let him run. You wait for them to either tell you to come to get the boy, or they'll send the boy back to you. but you're to never walk into their affairs to grab the boy. And I said, okay, this sounded strange, but continue. I only got 1 month left, so it really didn't even matter. So I'm like, okay, I could do that. And she was like, things do get wild. That's all I'm going to say. And she said, did you sign an NDA? I said, I did not sign an NDA. And then she just kind of looked at me like, you did it? And I was like, no. Did you? And she just didn't even answer the question. So I'm guessing she did sign an NDA. But I see why they should have had me sign an NDA. So, sorry, my phone cut off. So anyway, we're at Saturday. I'm on my way in. They have people coming in to loud ass plane. They having people coming in to set up for an event, which she said would probably happen. And one thing about me, I know a drug deal when I see one. And so the boy, the man that came in to talk to the dad, he got his hood on, headphones in like this, hood tatted. He go in just for a couple of minutes and come out. He's like, all right, thank you. And he's like, thank you. And he walk out, and it's me. They getting ready for the party. But anyway, so they go upstairs and get the little boy ready for the event. I said, okay, what should he wear? They was like, we trust your judgment. Just something nice. It's just a nice casual event. I said, okay, cool. I dress him. We come back down. The little boy's just kind of running around. I'm running around with him. They have toys and stuff out, so we're playing. He wanted to get in the pool, so randomly had to change out of my clothes to get in the pool with him as people are here setting up around the pool. And I said, I guess he lives here. So it was 6 couples. So 12, 14 people counting the people that I worked for. Everybody's having a good time, a good cordial time. Everybody's drinking their champagne, they're talking, and all of a sudden, when the dad come downstairs, a couple people at a time, they'll walk away, they'll come back, and then everybody's just and I'm like, now I know when y'all playing with the white girl. I know that. I've seen it too many times living in LA. And so next minute I know they just oh, it's so hot in here. It's so hot in here. They had a DJ. The DJ was playing cool music, nothing too crazy. And they're play something we can dance to. Hell yeah. They start, and they, oh my God, I'm so hot. They get to taking their shirts off. I'm just looking. And then I remember the girl said, you don't look. You just here for the little boy. And so I'm I'm looking at what's going on so hard. I don't even know where the little boy is. So I snap out of it. And I'm just I find a little boy that he, again, keeps running back and forth to his parents. His parents don't have a shirt on because, they're doing their thing. And I'm just oh my God. And so as the night is progressing, I'm please come on 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever time I can go home. And so what the fuck is this? And so finally it was time for me to go. And when I say I jetted up out that Joan, I jetted up out that Joan because I'm if this is weird at 10, I can imagine what it's going to be at 1 o'clock because they up all night. But yeah, and then, I feel all the parties was pretty much like that in a sense where they're sweating, want to take their clothes off. At one point, they even jumped in the pool, fully clothed though. They're oh my God, it's so hot, let's jump in the pool. That was a whole different night. But the same setup where it's everything is so elegant and nice whole time, y'all crackheads. But yeah, that was that. And I enjoyed it. They paid me a lot of money. I wrapped up my 3 months. They left. I left. They was happy. I was happy. And hell, can't go wrong.